Hola, mi amigos. Happy Tuesday. Happy Black History Month. Wonderful to be here with you all. Today, we're going to talk about Black men and prostate cancer. So about a week ago, I came across an article that was deeply alarming, but also not a surprise. And the article, which I will post in the text under this video when we repost this video, says that 1 in 6 Black men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer in their lifetime. 1 in 6 Black men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer in their lifetime. So I'm going to invite us all to take a moment and think of the Black men that we know and love in our lives, and the fact that 1 in 6 of them may be diagnosed with prostate cancer in their lifetime. Now, the article, which is on CNN, says that early detection is the key to this, but I say actually prevention is the best medicine. As they say, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And so looking at the root cause of chronic illness is very, very important in relationship to how to prevent that illness from manifesting. And the root cause of most chronic illnesses is trauma, is childhood or lifetime undiagnosed, unprocessed, unrecognized trauma. In fact, I'm going to pause and read something for you here. When I Google, and I'll invite you to do this as well, is trauma the leading cause of chronic illness? The San Francisco Center for Trauma Research says that unaddressed trauma is the hidden cause of most preventable illnesses, and it is associated with 8 of the 10 leading causes of death, including heart, lung, and kidney disease, cancer, stroke, diabetes, suicide, and accidental overdose. So trauma is the root cause of most of the suffering that we experience as human beings in the society. When we're talking about Black people specifically, not only are we dealing with our own trauma from this lifetime, but we're also dealing with our intergenerational trauma and the trauma that's generated from living in a system of oppression. So I'm going to invite all of us, if you haven't already, to become very familiar with something called ACEs. ACEs are adverse childhood experiences. And there have been many studies done on ACEs. I believe Kaiser Permanente was the first place to do a study on adverse childhood experiences and how they impact health outcomes in adults later on in life. And adverse childhood experiences create what's called developmental trauma. And developmental trauma causes a whole host of issues, including complex post-traumatic stress disorder later in life, PTSD later in life, chronic illness, disease, all of that. Racism is an adverse childhood experience. It has been clinically shown and clinically proven in numerous studies that children growing up in systems where they experience racism as part of their daily life that is an adverse childhood experience. Being dehumanized is an adverse childhood experience, go figure, and falls under the category of ACEs and may lead to, again, chronic illnesses, long-term illnesses, that sort of thing. So if we look at the prevalence of chronic illness in the Black community and we look at the interplay of trauma and racism and systemic oppression in relationship to the accumulation of trauma, it makes sense that chronic illness would be something that the Black community experiences quite a lot of. So this all ties into the prostate cancer for Black men. Again, we started this conversation, 1 in 6 Black men in our lives may be diagnosed with prostate cancer. Well, that's unacceptable to me, particularly if we know that we can take action to prevent illness from occurring by addressing the underlying root cause of chronic illness, which is, as we know, trauma, or at least partially related to trauma. So my whole world and my whole life is devoted to addressing and healing and transmuting the root causes of illness in the body, mind, spirit, and sex. That's what Tantra is. Tantra is the antidote to Tantra. Tantra is the antidote to trauma. It's the antidote to, it's the antidote to trauma. So what this means for you is how you can apply the holistic healing medicine of Tantra to prevent the root cause, to address the root cause of prostate cancer, potential root cause of prostate cancer, and potentially prevent that from even manifesting and arising in your life. Again, if we address the root, then the fruits of that will not flourish and manifest. So in relationship to addressing the root causes of prostate cancer, there's a few things that I'm going to invite you to do as Black men. Number one, learn about ACEs. Learn about the prevalence of trauma in the Black community, and learn about your childhood. Learn to recognize if any of these ACEs apply to you, and if any of these causes and conditions may be at the root of any type of chronic illness that you may be experiencing. And then once we identify that, yeah, actually I experienced trauma, and yeah, I might actually have complex post-traumatic stress disorder, and yeah, actually I experienced a lot of these ACEs, what we want to do is we want to then apply medicine to alleviate and to work with and to heal these traumas. And so that's where Tantra comes into play, particularly the 4 pillars of healing that we use with the authentic Tantra modality. So number one, meditation is really supportive and really helpful for starting to dissolve trauma, again, in the body, mind, and spirit. Meditation has been clinically shown to help repair the brain damage that traumatic experiences create in the brain. It has been clinically shown to cultivate peace and wellness, regulate heart rate, de-stress the nervous system, all of that stuff. So meditation is going to be one of your primary medicines when addressing the root cause of trauma and antidoting that root cause, meditation. Also, movement practices. So for you men, pelvic floor exercises, doing Taoist pelvic floor exercises, or even Kegel, any type of pelvic floor exercise that is going to exercise and bring blood and energy and nutriment and nourishment to that pelvic floor to increase the health and wellness. So we all know that exercise is good for your body. Exercise is good for your muscles. Exercise creates a good, strong, healthy body and increases blood flow and circulation and minerals and nutrients and all of that stuff. So it follows, it makes sense that exercising your pelvis, which is a muscle, your pelvic floor are a group of muscles, that is going to have a beneficial effect on everything in that area, right? So doing movement practices, doing pelvic floor exercises, doing practices that are going to help enrich that area of your body, your reproductive and sexual health and wellness. And then the other thing is sexual healing, sexual healing. So prostate massage. Now, I know this is a touchy subject for a lot of Black men, massaging the prostate, but massaging the prostate is one of the number one ways to prevent the accumulation of toxins and the accumulation of poison in that area of your body. So just like massage is going to help any other area of your body, prostate massage, massaging the prostate gland, is also going to be very supportive for cultivating health and wellness in that part of your body. Another fun fact about the prostate gland is that it connects to the vagus nerve. So the vagus nerve is the longest nerve in your entire body. It governs your parasympathetic nervous system. So it's really important in being able to cultivate like peace and balance of your entire body mind, that vagus nerve. And it's a cranial nerve that runs from the base of your brain wanders all the way through your body and innervates all the major organs. And then one of the organs that it innervates is your prostate. So prostate massage combined with pleasure is literally like nervous system healing. It's going to be healing and balancing and nourishing for the entire body and the entire brain and your nervous system. So something that we teach in Authentic Tantra, particularly in our Ejaculation Mastery for Men video program, is the combination of conscious and what I'm going to call tantric self-pleasure, which is bringing meditation, mindfulness, visualization, and mantra into your sexual experience. and then combining that self-pleasure, the lingam stimulation, with stimulating the prostate gland for your own sexual health and healing practice, your sexual wellness practice. So this is something that we do teach in our Ejaculation Mastery for Men program. And also, if you haven't really explored your prostate gland, or you haven't really cultivated a comfortable relationship with doing that on your own, going to see a body worker. This is where somatic sexual healing can be so supportive for you guys, because somatic sexual healing is all about bringing us back home to our bodies and reintegrating our sexuality with the rest of our humanity, right? So somatic sexual healing, body-based sexual healing. So going to a somatic sexual body worker, or going to a tantric healer who's rooted in lineage and who has a background in somatic eroticism, or I don't know if eroticism is the right word, somatic healing, somatic sensual healing, somatic sexuality, or sexual healing. Going to a practitioner who specializes that and has training in that as well. You don't just want to go to any Joe Blow on the street, because not everybody knows what they're doing in terms of being trained to actually work with the body and work with the soma to catalyze this type of healing. So you want to go work with a trained professional who has experience and expertise in providing this type of healing medicine for your body. The other thing, and this circles back to the ACEs that I was talking about earlier, the other thing that's really important for your holistic wellness plan is the fourth pillar of connection. And this is where I really recommend for you Black men specifically is getting support, getting counseling, getting therapy, getting the emotional. It's not even just about our mental health, because our mental health is often governed by our emotional well-being, right? And trauma, those adverse childhood experiences dysregulate us emotionally, and they injure us emotionally. And so getting therapeutic support for processing your pain and processing the overwhelm of living in a system of oppression. And then, that's not even accounting for all of the relational and ancestral gifts and challenges that are transmitted down to us through our lineages. So working with those four pillars of movement, meditation, pleasure, and then connection with yourself and connection with other human beings through therapeutic healing work is tremendously important. So that's what I have to share with you about prostate healing and addressing and antidoting prostate cancer, specifically in the Black male population. I'm going to add some links to underneath this video and the text and the content, so you can do some research on your own and find the healing and support tools that you need to begin addressing the root cause of trauma and the root cause of chronic illness in all of our lives. So have a happy week. Peace and blessings. See you later.